Hey girl, girl, girl. Honestly, I don't know what it is, but my best friend and I have thought that was just the funniest thing throughout the years. Like any song that has the word girl in it, like where it's a guy just like saying something and he's like one of his ad libs is girl or one of his lyrics is girl. I don't know. It's hilarious. Y'all don't think it's funny? Just think about the old songs back in the day. Hey girl, oh girl. That's not funny. That's not funny. You don't, you know. I think the runs in general just be the funniest things sometimes. Like it's just okay. Maybe it's just all of the R&B guys from back in the day. Like any of their songs, like it just be the funniest thing. Like you know, they just be like, as a matter of fact, there was one who said I love you first. It was about 8 years ago. Don't act like you don't know. Or baby, please believe me when I tell you that I need a girl. Girl, I've been watching you. You don't have to stay up waiting by the phone. And you don't have to ever one wish, one wish, one wish. That's enough. Don't make fun of them. They are singing their hearts out. Those are real good singing songs, though. If you're a singer, you know you like those songs secretly. Inside, as much as they bugged you back in the day, you love them songs. Don't lie. Ooh. What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Sakima. Welcome back to the Walk Live, y'all. Listen, I know, I'm so sorry. Let me finish my introduction before I apologize. Just wait a second. As I said, I'm Sakima. I post on this channel every Tuesday. What do I post on this channel? Nuggets, lessons that God has given me throughout my journey with Him. And they have helped me chip away some of the barriers that have been in my path. And my hope is that they will help you as well. Okay, and I didn't tell you guys, all you who have been rocking with me since day one, I thank you so much. You know, I love you. You know, I appreciate you. And for all of you who are new, thank you for stopping by. I hope you like what you see and what you hear. Y'all, let's get to this apology now. I don't even know how we ended up on this road. All right, for real. So, what I wanted to apologize for is for not having the video up yesterday, you guys. I know that all two of y'all was waiting on that video. Um, Y'all, and I'm still gonna post it. It's just we had some technical difficulties with that particular video, and we just were not able to get that out. But I'm still gonna get that out, you guys. So don't worry. But for now, I'm just gonna do this quick video for you guys. Can't leave y'all hanging like that. But I will get that up. I'm so sorry. I try to make sure I'm consistent, and you know, if you like me, you know how you've gotten off track before. So you try to make sure that you are consistent and you do better about being consistent and following through with the things that you commit to. And so I'm like, ugh, yesterday when I couldn't get that up, I was like, please no. But anyway, so I wanted to get on here and just talk about how, sometimes you need to take a little rest. Okay, I have been feeling so overwhelmed lately. So many things happening. So many things seem like they're like going wrong at the same time. So many things out of control. And I'm like, okay, Father, Jesus, I need to take a little rest. During the week of Thanksgiving, I did take some time off, did some binge watching on Netflix, my show, what is it called? Manifest. Ugh, don't love that show. So yeah, so I said that was taking a bit of a rest, and then we didn't have class for some of that time, and some of the time that we did have class during these weeks leading up to Thanksgiving, we didn't have like homework and things like that. So I have been kind of resting or whatever. Um, But I know it's time to jump back into things, and it just seemed like there is just a million things coming from everywhere. You guys, I come on here and I give you these, encouraging moments. Um, I tell you that all of us, we need these moments where it's like, okay, tough times. Okay, so let me just take a break. Okay, take it all in. Lord, remember who I serve. Remember why I'm doing all the things that I'm doing. Remember who I am. Remember my identity. All right, now let's get back to it. And so, but what is that rest right in the middle? My bishop always talks about the word Selah. We actually have a week called Selah Week. It might be a week or two, where all of the staff and administration at our church, they're off. So if you need to know, any information about the church, don't call them on that week. But Bishop does that so that he can just acknowledge, that we're human beings and people need some time, to make sure that they can collect themselves again. And also, it is very biblical. So, if we look in Psalms, I'm going to go to Psalm 62 specifically. Psalm 62 um, will. So, if you look at the end of verse 4 and at the end of verse 8, you see the word Selah. And if we Google Selah, Selah is most commonly defined as a musical term, and it is a rest basically. So if you aren't familiar with psalm is a psalm. You might have people come to your church, and someone might be come to sing, and they call that person the psalmist. That has to do with a song of sorts, and that's what psalm is a bunch of like songs, right? So it has been defined as a musical term that means rest, right? So you're doing your song or whatever, and then you have a point where you rest. In music, you have a rest, if you are familiar with notes and things like that. But it's very important that we do take that time to recollect ourselves. And so if you are feeling as overwhelmed as I have been feeling lately and everything is going crazy, I want you to remember one thing. Um, Out of all first of all, how many times have you felt like this? A gazillion. And I've said this before, but how many times have you looked back and saw that you made it through each of those moments? There is no doubt that God has you, and you're no less safe in God's hands than you were before this situation or these situations happened or these situations started crowding in on you. So don't let your situations make you think that God has lost his grip on you, or that he's like, I'm sorry, that you're losing your footing. That's what the enemy wants you to think. And he wants you to struggle through each moment. And every moment he wants it to be just like trying to walk through a swamp, trying to walk through quicksand. And because that begins to wear on us and makes us tired and makes us like, where we get to a state where we just want to give up. So, but what we can do in these moments is take a rest and say, okay, God, what is it that you are saying to me in this moment? What is it that I can get from you? And sure enough, we do get our Selah from God. If you have trouble with your Selah, some of us have trouble taking a little moment, taking a little break and resting. But I guarantee you this is good not only for you, but for those around you, for your family, your friends, your job, all that. They need you to be well. And rest is good for us. Rest is biblical. It was important for God to include that in his word for us. And so we take that and we say, okay, that makes sense. We're gonna have time where we're gonna have times where we're gonna have to rest. And I'm going to look up something for you. Okay, here it is. We're in Matthew 11. Matthew 11 and 28 says, "Come to me, all who are weary and heavily burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest." For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. Beautiful. So he's telling us there that should we not be able to find that, even if we are able to find some sense of rest on our own, then we still should be coming to God, because he's saying his whole makeup is different than us. His yoke is easy and his burden is light. Who describes a burden as being light? No one. His whole makeup is different than ours. So the way that we would go about finding rest within ourselves would be different. And what we would find within ourselves, if we were just looking within ourselves without him, would be different than if we were to go to him to find our rest. So we want that real rest. We want that true rest. We want the rest that only he gives. And so go to him for that rest, for that peace, for that, okay, let's bring ourselves back to center. Let's refocus. And I guarantee that you'll come out better than you went in. And so y'all just take the time. I know it gets a little hectic, especially around the holidays. Things get hectic. People, emotions are high. People want to get great presents and gifts, and people are scurrying to do things, trying to pay your bills and, do your shopping and all the things, being parents, being husbands, being wives, all the things. But just remember who you are and whose you are, why you do what you do, and remember what's important, and remember to take a moment, even if it's a moment in each day, and Selah, and say, okay. One description of it, of Selah, one definition of Selah mentions that it is a rest to take in everything. To take in everything. So if you're singing a song and then you rest for a second, it's like dramatic. You think about what you just heard. You take it in. And same with life. It's so chaotic. But if we can get to a moment where we can say, Selah, okay, let me rest, and take in what's going on, we might be able to see it from a different perspective. We might be able to say, wow, you know what I felt like was something that was burdening me is actually something beautiful, is actually something that I now can see is God doing something. He's working in this moment, and everything that I was looking at in a negative light, I'm now able to see it differently. That means I can now approach it differently. That means I can now have no more or less anxiety as I'm living through this moment. And I have an advantage. I have leverage. I can approach this thing differently now. I don't have to keep repeating this moment, because in this moment, every time I get to this particular moment, I act up. I fail to see God in this moment. Okay? I love a song that our worship leader sings. It's See a Victory. But the words of that song, I'm gonna see a victory. I'm gonna see a victory. It's almost like I refuse to see anything else. You're gonna see a victory, okay? Rest, take it all in, and take his yoke upon you. His yoke is easy and his burden is light. All right. I hope to help somebody. And y'all, I'm gonna get that other video up. Ugh, pray for your girl. Y'all, as I always say, my journey with God has been just that, a journey. And so it's one that I feel like I've been meant to share with you guys. And I'm so grateful and so thankful that you guys would join me on the walk live.